What is good, everybody? We got 3DB versus Anotand, another PUP show match for y'all. It's a best of 5. We got B spawning in the eastern side of mountain clearing of all maps. Don't get to see this one too much. And Anotand spawning in the western side. Chinese as the option for Anotand. And good old Chinese versus Mali matchup. And look at how close those town centers are. Looks like, oh my gosh, it's a... The sheep steal from 3DB. Anotand being a little bit greedy with those sheep at home. And 3DB able to just steal those on up. So feels absolutely great to have, you know, what is that? 1,250 food just snatched over from your opponent right off the bat. B is also feeling pretty confident, has a back 8k gold behind his base. Both of these players do. So just very compact bases and very, very compact map in general. However, they kind of allowed these outlets behind a little bit. Maybe some chop throughs, maybe some little oddities can happen, but you do have to scout those out and see if there's any abilities to get through or escape or, you know, hide some vills. You never really know. But 3DB going ahead and grabbing up a ton of gold with that early pit mine, 5 houses around it, and the Chinese doing Chinese things on that mill, and you know, Imperial official supervising it, gonna be able to grab that tax gold, really short drop off location, have deer and sheep behind it, and moving over to the gold as well. So gonna be a nice little quick age up timing. And Anotand's not really too devastated in the long term with the sheep, as I see him having a nice couple trail behind, a nice couple under the mill as well. And you know, it could have really been worse for him overall. He did lose the 5 though, and that just is a huge, huge feels bad moment. Let's check the vision of either of these players. You can see how little of the map that each side can really see, and that's basically the whole map in front of you that you're looking at. There's not really too much other area to go, so it's a very, very short distance, short rush distance to your opponent. And if he had jumped inside, that would have been another sheep steal. The Mansa Quarry coming in, so no real safe defense, just going for that nice, more economic landmark, as it says. 75 gold per minute or stone, depending on what you prefer. A little bit of scout on scout action, and 9 villagers moving across the map. The big problem for Anotand, he probably wants to barbican this gold, but you know, how close can you get safely with this barbican? The key though, the Mansa Quarry, only 3/4 of the way up. These Chinese villagers can build faster. Anotand does not have any wood in the bank. Sometimes with this barbican rush, you'll see them drop an outpost and then the barbican. But in this case, it is a full commitment all the way for the barbican. Dropping it down, 9 villagers on top of it. It's going down fast. No reaction from 3DB yet. He might not even be able to see this. We're about to switch over to his view. He's not able to see this, completely blind. Anotand able to stay totally out of vision, but the key, 3DB has not gone over for that gold yet, not going heavy onto the gold, left the space for the mining camp that he might drop in just a second. But Barbican finishes on up, and the villagers moving forward, they're just going to start torching down these houses, get as much damage as you possibly can. 3DB moving on over to the deer, but won't have much access to his close gold. Might be able to go take the gold on the western side of his town center. First house already starting to be burnt on down. Second house starting to be burnt. Well, it's on fire. It'll go down in just a little bit. Anotand's just trying to optimize his damage as much as possible. 1 house down, 2 houses down. The question is now, will the pit mine end up going down? This is 9 villagers though that are idling on up, and there we go. We see he says, hey, now it's time to get to work. Go ahead, grab me up some lumber. He didn't have enough wood for a while for any production building, for a lumber camp, or space for it either. Still that scout on scout action where 3DB has the overall favor, but getting a little close and just out of that town center range, just drops out perfectly. I did say there was some scout on scout action coming into this game. And just as we say that, Anotand starts to has the, you know, the beautiful mining camp, can go into stone or gold. His villagers chose gold first, but he wants the stone, and this might just be for outpost upgrades, for Barbican upgrades, things like it basically wants to continue this pressure, continue this outpost rush, but he's not really doing overall long-term damage right now because, as we see, 3DB is just moving over to the other side gold mine and dropping a stables, already has a range out. So Anotand's gonna have to start getting his own military presence if he doesn't want to have his kind of pressure denied and everything he worked for denied. Villagers trying to chop by this, maybe get some room, maybe get some vision for a outpost, but 3DB can see this. 3DB can see everything that Anotand's doing. Scout for Anotand quite low, not able to get to the other side of the map, not able to see what 3DB has planned up, what will the idea be? First couple javelin throwers on their way out. Secures himself up a tower for his wood line and a ton of houses around the next pit mine, and the original pit mine never ends up actually going down, so still continuing to get a good amount of passive gold over time. You see 217 per minute with 0 villagers on gold. And Anotand finally loses that low health scout, will be denied this vision. 3DB spots out the wood line, spots out no outpost there, and we are sure to start seeing some sofa pressure coming on the wood line from the Mali. Outpost on the initial gold has been completed, not only with the hand cannon slits, but also getting some nice fortifications. Oh, villager, a little too close, cannot build that next outpost. However, I don't know how much good that next outpost is going to do. What is this denying for you? What is this accomplishing for you right now? Javelin throwers running across the map. Scout just sitting, watching, waiting to pressure. Not only, oh, we're going to see a little multi-pronged attack, most likely. Jav throwers ranging down on these units, villagers gathering up this deer, and there it is. Sofa going to circle around and put pressure on the wood line. Really going, great job by 3DB with the pressure on Anotand, not allowing him to get any of these valuable resources. Villagers have to be pulled back off of the supervised mill onto sheep, so lacking a nice food gathering rate. And the sofa on top of the wood line. Vills getting taken down. Sofa made it through. Oh, villager not quite able to be taken down yet. Sofa waiting, watching, trying to get more and more damage without losing his life or taking too much. Oh, it's a quick TC. Look at the greed. We're just going to see the attempted micro. 3DB getting a little too close to the town center, and the short wall is going to work just perfectly. Anotand, I'm not sure if he lost the Vil. We see one destroyed worker kill right now, and Anotand has 2 TC on, but no Song Dynasty as of now. No military buildings. Javelin. Oh, an attempted outpost. Oh, never mind. Lumber camp. Lumber camp coming down over here from 3DB. Might be a long-term chop through play, and some jabs coming on the opposite side for attempted pressure as well. Just 3DB, really great job of just staying at that perfect range outside of town center, putting that stand ground on so they don't step forward and get a little too out of position and don't take any extra unnecessary damage that they might do. sheep and wood. That is all Anotand's able to get from his side right now, able to get stone from the other side, and actually surprised he doesn't go on to some of this gold if he wants, but just getting all this gold from his Imperial officials, just walking around grabbing it on in. Outpost and TC able to make some decent work at the sofa, but still a lot of idle time coming in for Anotand. Just a little outpost on outpost war over here. And it is exactly what I mentioned. The chop through has been on its way from 3DB. Slowly but surely, this villager is going to try to make it through, maybe build an outpost here in the middle of this wood line. Farimba Garrison is going down. Castle Age on the way for 3DB. Anotand has 900 wood in the bank, 600 stone. Could drop basically 2 extra town centers right now. Needs to be able to transition, but there's nothing he can get really. There's no, military buildings that he's dropped. Doesn't really even have the room for it. Dropping another town center. I was jokingly saying it. I said he can drop like 2, 3 more town center, 2 more. And you know what? He just takes it to heart. He drops another town center. He says, I got vills for you. I can throw away vills for days. Jumps inside of the town center as it's built, and it's going to immediately start taking down those other units that are in the corner. Didn't quite deal with everything, as there is still a jav thrower, and not only one, a few more on the way coming to help out. Stone fully gathered up from the opposite side. Still has a sofa scout on the side for 3DB, and that chop through, it is slowly on its way. I believe the outpost might be dropped in just a little bit. Jav throwers taking damage from town center, as well as the upgraded outposts in the base of Anotand. So 3DB is throwing away units, but not for a not for nothing over here, as any Vill that pops out and tries to get to this gold, those javelin throwers are taking out. And look at how freaking tanky these are from that ranged damage. That is just absurd how many arrows they're tanking. It feels like 5 units are taking a minute to go down from just, 20 units in town centers and outposts. Musafati warriors coming on through. Anotand spots the villager trying to slow chop through due to this outpost on the other side. So what's he do? He just walls it on up. But the outpost, just how I mentioned, chopped enough range and vision for this outpost to go on up. And it's not just a few Musafati. We are up to 15, and Anotand has 0 military units. 0 military units. So not looking very good for Anotand. He does have the villager count right now. He's an age behind. He has enough for another TC. So I'm surprised he don't want to just drop a TC over here. Maybe try to boom up somewhere else, as his home base is about to get demolished by this mass of Musafati warriors. And it's 20, and we're just going to see the Farimba continue to pump these out over and over and over again. We one ranged armor has come in, but not the second one yet. Might not be the worst idea, seeing Anotand's build order. We are up to 30 Musafati. Anotand moving over to the deer, finally out of those sheep at home. Doesn't have enough room for granaries. Grabbing some long-term walking gold to that. I don't know why they're not going to this TC. Questionable appearances here. And the outpost forces Anotand to move villagers to the other side. And get away from this farm, because this outpost is definitely going to be able to snipe down on that farm. And this is not just a weekly hand cannon slit upgrade. This has a springled emplacement on top of it. 3DB just continuing to mass up more and more and more of these military units, just pumping them out. Stables, ranges, Farimba garrison, and looks like he is finally saying it's time to end the game. 50 military units versus 2. All right, so the Musafati just going in, trying to burn down these outposts, burn down the town centers, not allowing any of these villagers to work on these farms. Villagers, and it is over. 3DB just making mincemeat of Anotand over here, who doesn't seem to be playing his normal game.